guys are watching SNL. Because they do cold opens.
They do cold opens. Do you watch SNL?
No, I just watch the clips on TikTok.
The clips on. I used to every single weekend. My mom and I would clock in for SNL back in the glory days. Back during
Were you were alive in the 70s?
Back in the 70s.
Like, I liked it when they were just like on drugs. They were a little more fun.
Yeah, they were on drugs. We were on drugs. It was really great. But I don't really watch it anymore because all of like the young people are like my age, and I was like, people my age can't be funny.
Yeah, I think like people are like, oh, SNL is so unfunny now. And it's like the thing about SNL is that it always kind of was like 4 skits that were really bad and then like one banger. And you had to sit through the bad ones to get to the banger. They were never all good.
Not even close. Like there were some weekends where we would watch the whole thing and we'd be like, well, I guess we'll try again next weekend. It's like, hey, SNL it's not all supposed to be funny.
No, some of it's like they're trying their best out there, you know? You guys have never done improv before. It's tough out here. But anywho, welcome to another episode of the Lapstone Podcast. My name is Andrea.
And I'm MJ.
Dude, that was a crazy gulp of water. You just took the moment I kicked off our podcast. That was so crazy how you did that.
I just wasn't really sure that that's when that was going to happen, so I wanted to make sure I was ready for when it did.
Right. Well, we're going. This is live, recorded to the airwaves. We're coming at you. Literally, NASCAR just ended, okay? And we're coming hot off the presses. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review if you haven't already. We saw somebody gave us a 5-star review on Spotify, and I just want to blow that person a big old kiss. Thank you so much for that, loves.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Every time you guys leave a 5-star review, it tells other people when they look at our podcast that it's worth maybe click and play on. And that's a responsibility only you have as a listener. So I would let them know if you feel that way. Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube. And yeah, we're on TikTok and Instagram at LapsoundPod. Anywho, F1. We had F1 this week. Did you have a fun time watching F1?
Wow.
That's to be decided. She's unsure. Well, we can just get right into it. We didn't really have very much like pre-race drama this week. We just really got into it with the race. So practice, we had 3 practices. We didn't have a sprint this weekend. It was a whole lot of nothing. I don't know. I try to watch practices, but it gets to a point where like they're kind of boring. The only thing made them worth watching this week was that James Hinchcliffe was there on F1 TV. Well, and he's just such a delight.
And Fernando Alonso died.
Right. He sat out of FP1 because he had like a muscular back injury, which was apparently fine 3 hours later for FP2. It's an interesting back injury. I don't know if that's how they work usually.
Like, something's not making sense. Either you're not doing proper recovery for this like legitimate back injury you have, or maybe you just wanted to sleep in a little bit, which is like what I used to do in high school, where I'd be like, oh, I have a headache. I'll go in for not first period or second period, but like I'll for sure make it by third period. My headache will be gone by then.
They did kind of insinuate that he might have like slept in. Which I think is so funny because it's like at least a headache I could understand how sleeping in, like that seems like a probable diagnosis and treatment plan. Your back hurting, I'm gonna sleep in, tougher sell. But I love that like Aston Martin was like, sure, we can just put Felipe Drugovich in, I guess. He's not
unless he was on like
anything.
You think he was on like muscle relaxers or something? He's like, guys, I'll get in the car, but I probably shouldn't.
He's like, I gotta sleep it off a little bit.
I gotta. And then they put Felipe in, and I think you were the one who was like, yeah, just another weekend where we make Felipe think he's gonna get a chance in F1. Yeah. It's just not gonna happen,
I don't think. It's never gonna happen, dude. You gotta let it go. You gotta let the dream die. I think that they're not gonna ever let you drive that car. That's I'm so scared for Jack Crawford because he's apparently in the same like Aston Martin development thing. I'm like, hey, buddy, they surely don't need 2 of these people. Yeah, I mean, They barely need the one.
Oh, poor guys.
But he's actually our American hero, potentially. I watched the F2 a sprint race, and I was like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's putting the moves on people in F2. I was like, good for you, buddy. Weird to me that he's American. I'm like, how'd you slip through the cracks? They're going to give this American a super license right in front of our eyes? How many other people didn't get a super license this whole time?
All of this for Jack?
For Jack Crawford?
I actually didn't realize he was American until it was like Austin last year when he was going down the interstate in a F1 car. And I was like, why the fuck is Jack Crawford going down the interstate in an F1 car? And all the comments were just like, oh, he's American. And I was like, okay. Like, that's explaining something, but not really my question, I think.
So we went to qualifying for the F1 race. Here's some major plot points coming out of qualifying. And I'll just get your on-the-fly reactions to them, okay? Hamilton out in Q2 does a post-race interview where he says, I am useless. I am useless. It's not the car, it's the driver. I am useless. What are your thoughts on that? Just immediate, right off the bat.
I'd go, Queen, lift your head up. Your crown has fallen off. Stop. I also just like, it's really hard for me to sympathize when people do that because I'm just so used to men being like, no, everyone would be better off without me. It's like, well, now I'm starting to think everyone would be better off without you. Very dramatic. I like it. I like the attitude, and I'm hoping we can get better.
It's only up from here, Lewis. You got it, buddy. Two things that I thought coming out of this. First of all, gosh, I am so sorry to the people that have to interview drivers right after just like the worst time because they say awkward stuff like that. And then it's like the interviewer has to be like, no, King, you're a 7-time world champion. Like, surely that's not the case. And Lewis is like, no, look me in the eyes. I'm a useless human being.
He's like, say it back. Say it back to me.
So am I on the clock for this? Is this double pay or what's going on here? Is this like exposure therapy or something? But then somebody else said this to me at a watch party that I went to today for the race. This is not my thoughts and feelings. This is just me pulling the audience. It was crazy though. They said, when Lando says stuff like that, you believe he believes that about himself. But when Lewis says that stuff, you know he's just asking for somebody to say something nice about him. And I was like, that is so crazy. How did Lando catch strays like this?
It's like we inadvertently are. No, but like, surely Lewis Hamilton doesn't believe he is useless. It's like, no, man, you just signed a contract with Ferrari. You may be stupid, you ain't useless.
No, that is so true, and I couldn't have said it better myself, so we can just move right along because
Love you, King.
You may have made just the worst decision for your career.
Oops.
But you had a good time before that, and that is all that matters, really.
Yeah.
Somebody that is on the up and up, I don't know, maybe he like, as one Supreme falls, a new Supreme rises. We had Gabby Bortoletto in Q3, and I don't know, what a delight to see. I think it's so fun when he's up there because he's in a stake. Like, let him have fun.
He's in a stake. Every time I see a green, I go, how do you get up here? But they've been doing it like so much more this season or like these last few races than I ever thought possible.
Yeah.
Congrats, Gabby.
They usually have at least one of them now who can make it that far in qualifying.
Crazy,
if it's not
though.
Nico, it's Gabby, and if it's not Gabby, it's Nico, which is so crazy. Sure. I feel like this time last year, the stake was so bad that people were like genuinely concerned that Audi was taking over this team because they were like, does Audi know that they're this bad? But they like have made a lot of changes in the last like 6 months to try to prepare for Audi to be on the grid next year. And I definitely think it's starting to show like this is no longer a stake Sauber, in my opinion. It's like this is the pre-Audi car. They're like working on some shit. They're like doing personnel changes. They like can do pit stops now. Like sometimes strategy, they can do that. That's so interesting to me because that was not what we were doing last year.
It's bizarre. It's almost bizarre. I remember last year when I shed tears when Gilles Guan Yu got points. Full on cried. And now they're like, Nico got a podium. I mean, I did shed tears or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I think it's nice to prepare us for next year when like Audi might be a little bit better than we're used to with stake. And now it's like Haas is gonna be stake, or Alpine, I think, is kind of on the down and down.
Alpine. Yeah, I think Alpine has decided that they want to be the worst team on the grid.
Yeah. And they have like, I think, the weaker driver pairing of the two, which also doesn't help.
They have the facilities to do it. You guys can be the worst team on the grid if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, you could. The potential is there, guys. Every day we get a little bit closer, don't we?
Yeah, I never know what the Alpines are doing or where they are because they're just that inconsequential to the F1 race. It genuinely, they could be anywhere.
Wow. But no, they'll be at the back.
Yeah, I mean, they could be anywhere. They won't, but they could.
They won't.
They could be in front of a McLaren getting lapped, but
sure,
they're there. And that's exciting for them. I don't know. I love Gabby. Gabby is, there's something interesting to me about the dynamic that he has with the older folks on the grid. He is just so close with Fernando and Nico and Max. I'm like, that is just such a lively bunch you picked for yourself there, buddy, as people to be friends with on the grid. Like, I obviously understand Fernando's his manager, Nico's his teammate, and Max is like friend. I don't know. Is that the word we want?
I think so.
Yeah, but I just think it's like, I think it's adorable. I just think it's such a fun trio that he's picked for himself. Like, honestly, who would you, if you were a rookie, like, latch on to?
I would probably latch on to Esteban.
Tough pick, MJ. Tough pick. What would you be gaining from that with love to Esteban?
Hey, Esteban, you want to talk about comic books? And I go, I like your French accent. You don't seem like a scary French person. You seem kind of cool. And I go, oh my God, you're not very good either?
Yeah. That's what Ollie's doing, actually. I think that's exactly what Ollie has done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so
Who are you going to latch on to then? If not Esteban. Like, you don't have to say that because I already said that.
George Russell.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think he would just kind of like, he would teach me where the boundaries were with like who we could and could not talk shit about, like when we could like cause a fuss and a ruckus and when you have to just let the battles pass you by. Like he is just, and he's like very student council, like head of the drivers union, like, and I think like there's something about like closeness with Toto. I'd be like, do you think that I could get a meeting with Toto? Because Toto is very nice to people he likes and he gets them jobs even if they got fired from their other job. That's what Esteban did. Esteban like was like, Toto, they fired me. And Toto's like, okay, just hang out here for a year. We'll find you something else, buddy. I just would want to be like adopted into that like Mercedes family.
The family.
Yeah, like a Valtteri Bottas. He like found his way back.
It's very much a temporary home.
Yes, exactly. And I think George would be like my gateway into this like temporary home.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah. Also, we had Max qualify 7th, genuinely just the pace of his car. That was like just genuinely what was going on. He was just like, that's how fast the car goes. And they're like, right on. That's probably good that we have Max Verstappen in 7th place. That's not going to end poorly. Did you see where he threw a towel outside his car during practice? Everybody was like, he's literally thrown in the towel. No, it was like somebody just left a towel in like the seat of his car and it annoyed him. And for some reason, he decided the only thing he could do was throw it directly onto the track. Sure. There's something about impulse control that he doesn't have that I find interesting.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
Yeah,
Max is an odd one.
Yeah. He also did an interview with Ford Performance that I absolutely love. Everybody has to go watch it. It's like 30 minutes long, but it's like actually the most fun I've ever seen him have in an interview. And he talked about how he learns tracks, and he's like, I do some iRacing, and then like I just kind of look at it on Google Maps a lot. And they're like, you don't do a track walk? And he's like, why would I do a track walk that's long and boring? And
he makes a great point.
And I love how he refuses to be an athlete. Like, there's something where he's just like, I will not be doing that, but thank you so much.
Crazy.
Yeah. Odd duck. Okay. Charles Leclerc is on pole. Everybody was surprised by that. Everybody was like, what the fuck happened? According to the McLarens, there was like changing track conditions, like wind and stuff like that. I do appreciate how Oscar preempted it with being like, I know it sounds pathetic. It was the wind, though. He was like, don't even fucking get me started. Andrea, put the Twitter down. I know it's pathetic, but I swear it was the wind.
It was the wind. Yeah, well, the wind didn't bother Charles Leclerc, so.
He's the avatar. Stop wind. The wind can't blow your car around. The wind can't blow your car around without consent. Just say no.
Just say no
to the wind.
Try that next time.
But yeah, he was like super excited to be on pole. He was like, I had no expectation of being here. I think that might have contributed to the Hamilton crash out, because like if he wasn't on pole, I feel like the crash out would have been like less high stakes. But he did cite Charles being on pole as being like, see, we go from that to I am useless. That is like the connecting, like the linking logic between like Charles on pole equals I am useless.
I see how we got there. However, has he considered it was the wind? Maybe you're not useless. Yeah. Maybe it's
you
just
didn't even get a chance outside to fight against the wind. I mean, you might have fought against the wind great. You weren't there in Q3 though, so we wouldn't know.
Sure, and that's a good point.
I don't know Hamilton. I don't know Hamilton fans. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm listening to the GOAT, and the GOAT is saying he's useless. I don't think that to be true, but it's like, I don't know how to argue with this man. I mean, he's already made up his mind, I guess.
And it's just something he's going to have to come out of on his own.
People are speculating that he's going to retire over break. Do you think the crash out was that bad?
Sorry, you think he's going to retire?
I don't.
From Formula One over a 3-week break is what we're thinking.
He said that there was going to be tears over break, and everybody took that as he's retiring.
No, I cry all the time, and I don't quit my job every single time I cry, guys. Like, that's just it. Sometimes F1 fans really just
people cry.
Like, let him cry. Are you going to shame him from crying that you think he needs to quit his job if he's going to cry about it? No.
Yeah, if we quit our jobs every time we cried about it,
we would never be world champions.
Unemployed.
Also true.
Right. We'd be full-time podcasters, let me tell you. Okay, so the race, we get going. Lando loses 2 spots at the start. I'm like, it's so over for him. It's so over for him. I was like, okay, glad we got that out of the way. That's done and done.
He lost it to George Russell and Fernando Alonso. Yeah. That is crazy to lose a spot in a McLaren to an Aston Martin.
He almost lost another one to Lance Stroll because the Aston Martins both qualified extremely well. And they were like all the way up. And I literally was like, he literally saw Lance Stroll and he's like, now this is where I draw the fucking line. You're not fucking
I can't do this.
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
Yikes. So I thought, okay, that's over for Lando. Glad he had a good time. The race is over for him. And I actually kind of just stopped caring about him for the rest of the race. I was like, let him sit with his actions. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. Sorry that happened to him. Then they start saying Gabby jumped the start and Nico jumped the start.
As soon as I heard that, I go, I am not standing for this. Why are you bullying these poor boys who are always at the back of the grid? Are you mad at them because they're doing well and you want to keep them down? Is it because they're not British? And then they showed us the little onboards of Gabrielle Bortoletto. And I go, immediately acquitted, not guilty. And that's what the broadcaster said. And then they go, let's take a look at a little look at Nico Hulkenberg's. And okay, from the first angle, I was like, whoa, Nico. And then we looked at, and then by that time, they had been like guilty, sentenced, 5 seconds, penalty. Yeah. And then we looked at it from another angle, and even the broadcast was like, I actually don't know if he did jump the start on that one. And so they were both innocent. They were both innocent. Yeah, no, he did serve it.
Yeah, they made Nico serve the 5-second penalty. And what did we learn from this? That nobody gets to decide whether you're guilty or not until Laps Down has weighed in on the footage. Because see what happened? We tampered with the fucking race results. We could have had another Nico Hulkenberg podium. But because you guys wanted to wrongly fucking accuse him of jumping the start, look what we got instead. God, you know what I mean?
I am so sick of this justice system.
Period. No, literally. FIA, count your days. Count your fucking days. And then we have another penalty situation. Max passes Lewis, does the whole, like, I got to the apex first sort of thing, which I'm like, he really knows how to use that fucking rule, guys. You got to take that away from him because he does, like, a lot of vehicular manslaughter and gets away with it because he's at the apex first. And I love Max, but I know it's true. And so they say it's under investigation that they were going to do it after the race. And it ended up being that, like, after the race, the Lewis was like, I don't even feel like going to this meeting. Like, he was like, I don't even care. Like, I don't even remember what happened. And so Max gets off fine with no penalty. But it's so funny because, like, guess what place this all was for? Our 2 fucking goats of the sport, 2 world champions. What are they battling for?
Surely it's something in the top 10.
You would think it would be for points, right?
You'd think so.
It's not. It's 11th. It's 11th place. The goats of the sports were beefing over 11th place.
Guys.
Formula One, what does this sport become? We can't let the McLarens keep getting away with this.
Stop, guys. This is getting embarrassing.
I actually hate it here so bad. Yeah. So then we're going. Charles is leading the race and Oscar cannot seem to, like, get ahead of Charles. He's not really even getting close. Charles had pretty good race pace at the beginning of the race. Don't worry, it falls apart later for him and everything goes to shit. But at this point, he looked pretty strong. So the McLarens were trying to figure out how they were going to get in front of Charles. So they call in on the radio and they say, box to overtake Oscar. And then it was a big prank because they don't actually box. Then Charles boxes thinking that Oscar's going to box at the same time. And then you see Oscar drive right past. It was all a big prank.
It was just a Oscar McLaren mess around, wasn't it?
Yeah, classic mess around. It was so fun. I've never seen that work before, but boy, was it fun.
Not
I do have to say
F1.
No, but, like, there's something about the way he says box to overtake Charles. I was kind of like, okay, like, there's a little on the nose. Like, Charles.
They were like, Oscar, I want you to box to beat the Ferrari that's really bad at driving and performing really bad and isn't going to win. I want you to box to overtake him. It's like, we're laying it on a little thick, ain't we?
Yeah, it was kind of like, the only thing that would have made it better if it would have been, like, Zach Brown himself who would have came on and would be like, Oscar, you're gonna box to overtake Charles. That would have really made it so much better.
That would have been good.
But yeah, I think that, like, something that I wish we would do more in F1, something I was promised used to happen in F1, and I guess, like, just doesn't really happen anymore. And we were kind of talking about it with the Renus Rat Pack of not enough speaking in code. Not enough, like we need some Morse code happening on the radio. We need some spying happening on other teams. Like, I need them to be, like, doing these bluffs like way more often. Like, I just think it like is fun. I want to see somebody try to like sneak into a garage maybe and like try to take some pictures of a car. Like, I think that is something that's missing out of F1 that I think is quite fun.
I will say F1 is a lot less sneaky than I thought it was going to be when when you guys said it was an engineering series, but like nobody's been raided by the FBI. No one's been accused of like selling information to anybody else, at least not since I've been watching. That does make me a little sad. I do think the funny we were talking about in the group chat was like,
she made it funny.
Giving other drivers like code names, but like allowing them to like, I just think it'd be so funny to be like, I need you to overtake the actually attractive British driver. And then it's like, it's like obviously we all know who it is. George.
Go ahead, say it. Yeah.
It's George.
It's George.
But you know for a fact Lando's like, oh.
Like, what did we just say over that fucking radio? I'm sorry. I think that's what you meant by code. I was thinking like speaking in code. I actually think there's a rule that they have to do their radios in English, which I'm like,
I would assume that that's a rule considering that they don't do it in other languages.
It would be funny if like, I think that they did that specifically to try to like help the sport grow because they were like the radio messages need to be like understood by the audience. But I think it would be funny if they just started playing the radios and it's like in Italian. And I just have to be like, fuck, that's so crazy. I don't, cool, I guess, or sorry that happened. I don't really know, but good luck out there, Charles.
None of my business anyways, actually.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
That's good. Yep. Anywho, Ollie Behrman was out of the race. They said box to retire the car.
I hate when they say that. That's the worst reason to box. Truly.
Dude. I wish like there was more fun in F1 too of like getting back out there. Like, can we let Ollie Behrman run like 60 laps down after they've come in, fixed the car, and send it back out?
I mean, theoretically, you could. There's just no purpose to it because you don't get points for running. You get points for top 10, which is why I am still of the group who thinks that all of the places in F1 should get points so that we have some kind of tomfoolery like that.
No, I actually do think that I've come around to like my official opinion, which is I do think that the competition would be more fun, particularly in the midfield, if we could get points farther down. Because right now it's like, oh my God, like Haas and Williams and Alpine and Aston Martin and all these teams are like battling for like the midfield positions. They're battling up until that 10th place spot. Then they don't
right.
care. I'm like, no, fight for 17th.
Yeah.
Fight for your position.
Even fight for 11th. You have a right to be 11th and you deserve to be compensated for your efforts.
Ollie Behrman's been 11th like so many times this season. I'm like, dude,
and it's
give
like,
him points.
They're like, he's doing as well as the Alpines. And it's like, no. He's doing
11th. Franco's in 17th. That is not the same.
At what point can we have a candid conversation about Franco Colapinto?
Because forget
holy
he's there.
Smokes. He is performing so poorly. And it's like not his fault. I think he's a fine driver. The issue is we put him in for what? For sponsorships? Okay, then what's the sponsorship money going towards? Because his teammate is right above him when he's in P18, P19, P20. So it's like, what are we doing here?
There's no way that he gets that seat next year either. So it's like, what are we doing here?
I mean, at this point, I'm like, they're going to keep him forever. It's like they just never plan on performing well, like never plan on having like a good car. It's like obviously not all Franco's fault because they clearly don't like care about developing their drivers at all, which is really weird and bizarre. But it's like, holy shit, if we're just going to like be content with running so low, put Jack Doohan back in.
I was kind of like thinking the other day, like I do kind of miss Jack Doohan.
I miss Jack Doohan so much. He made my list of people I would put in the Muppets movie. That's how much I miss him.
Wow. I didn't even know we were making that list.
I even
about it.
I posted it on the internet and everything, and nobody even argued with me. That's how good my list was.
Oh, is that the thing you posted this weekend when Alex Albon was out in Q1?
Yeah, you didn't read it? You didn't digest it?
I think I read it. I think I did read it. I don't think I digested it. And I'll admit that.
That's okay.
To my friend.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Then we had this beautiful moment. Oh, fucking put it in the Louvre. I was having such a great time. So George is trying to pass Charles towards the end. Charles has no pace towards the end of the race. He's like crashing out over the radio. Like he's kind of mad about something with his car setup, but he can't be specific about what he's mad about because I'm assuming they don't want the other teams to know what they changed about their setup and stuff. So he's like, you know that thing that we talked about? You know that thing that we said we were going to fix? Well, you didn't. And I was like, what's the point of airing this radio? Whatever. It got so long at one point, it had to like scroll. Like the radio message had to like scroll.
Yeah, it got cut off on my screen. Yeah.
Love that. That's so funny. So he's crashing out, and then George is trying to pass him, and Charles starts like moving under braking, and then I don't know why he does this. He like hits George as George is passing him. I'm like, why does everybody do this when George is passing them? Like I'm starting to think it's like the punchable face sort of thing. Like there's something about him doing it that they're just like, I can't do this right now. It's always when somebody's crashing out and then George is there to pass you.
He's just always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like truly, like when he's near, someone's going to crash out, unfortunately.
He has no idea, though, unfortunately, that that's what's going on in that cockpit. Like, he doesn't know that they're crashing out, so
he's
just driving by. Hit him.
He's just driving by hoping, like, oh my god, I hope everyone around me is in a good mood. Please be in a good mood. Please don't be angry.
I hope you're having a really good time, Charles. I love you so much. I'm sorry you're going through that. But instead, George gets on the radio, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And he's like, that's a fucking penalty. I'm sorry, that's a fucking penalty. And they're like, I know, George, I don't know why they keep doing that to you. But it does end up being a penalty for Charles. And it was interesting because the commentators, they were like, Charles has got to get a hold of his emotions. Like he can't be crashing out like this. And I just think it's so funny because it's like, obviously, yeah, no, I agree. And I'm sure Charles agrees that he should not be crashing out like that. But it's like, what? It's not helpful in the moment.
We just like, can we look at his situation? Like I think he's allowed a little bit to crash out. Like he's totally fine. I think his emotions, probably not that big of a deal right now. He needs to get his driving under control. Sure. I think that's a fair argument. Can't be hitting British men as they drive by. You just can't. But to be like, no, especially not. But just to be like, he seems a little upset and that's not going to bode too well. It's like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, have you been watching?
Yeah, no, I would say he's not having a good time. I think his punishment is being paid in real time. It is interesting because he got a time penalty. And James Hinchcliffe, after the show, who I always go to on these matters, he's like, this should definitely be a place penalty because he's like, it's a matter of safety. If you're doing something unsafe and it like comes to no repercussion because you have enough of a gap to the person behind you, then like, is that preventing people from driving unsafely? And they go, the person that was co-hosting the post show, it wasn't Laura Winters, it was a different journalist. She goes, well, it actually was for erratic driving, not moving under braking. And so, like, it's actually not a safety concern. And James is like, so when you drive erratically,
what do we think erratic
upset you are
means?
Yeah. And she kind of tried to do the thing of like, he was like not having a very clear thought moment. Like he probably didn't consider that he wouldn't be penalized by the 5 seconds. And so it like isn't much of a deterrent. And James is like, well, we just have to be professionals, don't we? And I was like, oh, Charles, you fucked up. He brought out the we have to be professionals card. If you've
James.
Done that, if James is giving you a lecture about safety and he brings up you have to be professionals, you've made a grave mistake and James is unhappy with you. And that man was shish kebabbed. So he was to say stuff about safety and we had to listen.
It does always surprise me whenever like new people are co-hosting with him and they kind of want to like argue back with him about safety. And I'm just like, Hey, I don't know if you have the internet, but actually something really crazy happened to this man.
He's about to tell you some stories about his time in IndyCar.
I fear he's in the right on this one. Every single time he says something about safety, I'm like, you know what? He does probably. That's a good
He
point.
makes me feel like shit sometimes as a fan, because sometimes I'm like, like they're just crashing out, and he's like, somebody could have died, and I'm like, fuck, James, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a good reality check.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, James. He also did. They were talking about how Isaac, he had like a piece of gravel fly out from underneath the wheel of the car in front of him, and it hit him in the hand, and he like kind of like went like this. Mm-hmm. And they were like, that probably hurts really bad. And I love James. He goes, when I used to drive ovals at 200 miles per hour, let me tell you, a little pebble hurts. And I was like, okay, James, like fucking flex on these losers. Like, I think it was like in the middle of a turn. So Isaac was probably going like 60 miles per hour. That is nothing close to 200.
I gotta get F1 TV. I think I'm gonna, after this weekend, after everyone in the group chat being like, oh my God, James is so funny. Did you hear the thing James did? And I was like, fuck. No, Sky Sports is really great.
You should, after the IndyCar season ends, you should get the month by month subscription to F1 TV just to finish off the season, because he usually does come to like the last, after IndyCar is done, he finishes the season with F1 TV.
Dude, Sky Sports is so bad. It's so bad.
Especially if there's like inner teammate drama, because James is so fucking clocked in for that. I remember he was there last year for the Papaya Rules situation, and he was like, oh, this is juicy. He was like, Zach Brown, get your ass over here. We're doing an interview.
Oh my God.
He was like,
so
we're talking about this.
He's like, if I could have a dream lineup of like broadcasters, it would be him, Lee Diffie, Laura Winters, and Dale Jr.
And Ruth Buscum. I will take all of your answers and add Ruth Buscum.
I think, we have Bernie Collins. She's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I loved the Sky Sports commentary this week.
The issue with Sky Sports, I was thinking about this morning. I wonder if it's because, since it's mostly not like an American demographic, whereas I feel like F1 TV kind of skews more American, and we're so used to like incredibly lively, loud commentators. I wonder if that's just like more like European broadcast. I don't know. I'm totally just throwing this out there. But like the way that they don't really change tones, they like don't really get excited about things until even like the race calls at the end, like the checkered flag calls, they're like still very like, while you can tell that something has changed in their tone, it never hits what we hear on our broadcast.
I kind of agreed this morning. I don't know if it was like I was just tired or what, but the commentators were giving very low energy on Sky Sports. I was at a watch party, which is why I was watching Sky Sports, if you guys were wondering why all of a sudden I was watching Sky Sports. And they just play it on like the big TVs in the bar. And I just was so amazed. I was like, this is in your time zone. Like, it's 9 a.m. for me, but it's not 9 a.m. for you. So why are you guys talking like you just all woke up? It's very strange.
It's very, very low energy. It makes it so hard to want to watch F1. So I think I just need to treat myself to some F1 TV. Maybe I'll get excited again, especially now that we have like the actual like little battle happening. Kind of.
I definitely think like at the end of the season, it might be necessary. If there is teammate drama, there's only one person I want to get that from. And you're not going to have a fun time on Sky Sports, because they're just going to like do whatever Lando side of the argument is. But on F1 TV, like it is a little less British biasy. The only time they got weird about the British bias was at Silverstone. They were like, I hope one of the British drivers wins. And I was like, you're not supposed to say that. I looked around. I was like, wait, all of you fuckers are British. Ruth Buscum's British. Lawrence Barretto's British. Julian Palmer's British. Laura Winters British. I was like, wait a fucking second. You guys have all been British this whole time. It's like Silverstone is when it like hit me. And I was like, no, this is the British bias. No. I was so mad. But yeah, I think that will bring back your love for F1. I do think that Sky Sports has kind of taken a little bit of a
It's
hit
killing
on
me.
your interest. It's killing
I don't
me
even
slowly.
listen. I genuinely don't even listen to it anymore. I put my headphones on and listen to something else while I watch the TV.
That's insane. You know, we could just do where like you watch it on your TV, but then FaceTime me and then I turn the sound all the way up on my TV.
That would be, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I could just get F1 TV.
Yeah.
Cancel my ESPN for the next 66 days until hockey starts up.
Yeah, but just get that month by month because, girl, once they figure out that TV rights situation, we are no longer going to have F1 TV.
What are we going to do? That's something
I
to
don't
dwell
know.
about in the future, I guess.
So one last little point, I guess it's worth talking about who won the race. So like I said, I wasn't really paying attention to Lando. I didn't really care what he was doing, but they did kind of halfway through be like, hey, Lando's doing a one stop. And then Oscar was like, can I do a one stop? And they're like, it'd be kind of hard. We've already kind of set you in motion on a two stop. Like we didn't time this out properly. Like kind of probably not. So he was doing a two stop. It was interesting because they asked him about his strategy and he was like, I don't give a fuck about trying to pass Charles. I'm more worried about what Lando's strategy is behind me. And McLaren, that kind of just went like in one ear and out the other because the only thing they cared about was passing Charles, which was interesting because later on in the race, Charles completely fell apart. His strategy was not good. His car was not good. And he wouldn't have been an issue in the long run for Oscar. It just kind of felt like the strategy was kind of short-sighted to like, you know, they were making this call 20 laps into the race and didn't really have the foresight to see what was going to be happening on lap 60. I don't think, though, that like, okay, at the end of the day, it ended up being the one stop as a better option. Oscar got close to passing Lando at the end. He just simply didn't have enough laps. Like if he would have had maybe 5 more laps, he probably could have gotten it done, but whatever. He started making like kind of last ditch efforts on like the last 2 laps, but he was just too far back. He was like locking up and I don't know. He, according to George, he was pretty close to T-bowing Lando and he should have just went for it. George was like, just so you know, like next time that is an option.
Why didn't you T-bone him? That was really funny. I was like, you know what, George? You're saying the things that we're all thinking that you shouldn't be saying. We probably shouldn't either, but definitely not you.
Definitely not you in front of them in the podium celebration room, but whatever. It was like Oscar was just kind of like, well, like shit happens. He seemed in a fine mood after the race. Lando got his win. Like Oscar, I think, is still up by like 16 points in the championship or something like that because he obviously placed second. If he would have won, he would have been up by like 23 points or something, and it would have been the largest margin he would have had in the championship battle so far, so I'm sure he would have appreciated that. Now, this is where we get into conspiracy theory hour, okay? Like, the hour after the race is conspiracy theory hour. You can basically put whatever you want on Twitter, and it might stick. People are interested. They want to hear your theories. You can say anything. And, right, every week, it is somehow one of the McLaren drivers is being sabotaged. It changes from week to week which one it is, which I think is interesting because, like, usually sabotage campaigns are a little more focused.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. I don't know how to tell the Oscar fans from an Oscar fan. It was just the wrong strategy call. And at this point, I think we've already established that the side of Lando's garage and the side of Oscar's garage are not working together for strategy. They're working against each other. So Lando's side of the garage was like, we are going to try to beat Oscar and do a one stop. And it worked. Just like last week. It worked for Oscar. He did a one-stop on mediums. Yeah. It's not sabotage. Guys, we've got to stop the sabotage stuff.
It's simply not that deep. It's just not that deep. Like, that's not happening. I don't know. Could be fun, though. I wish it was. I wish it were happening. Yeah. What a hoot we would be having on this podcast tonight if there was some saboteurs in the Papaya Garage. Unfortunately for all of us, I would say, that just didn't happen. And sometimes you have a better strategy than other people, and sometimes you have a really bad strategy, and you're Ferrari, and maybe you're useless. I don't know.
Maybe. Do you remember last year the theory was that Lewis's car was being sabotaged by Mercedes, and people started sending like threats to Mercedes to the point where they had to be like, "We're arresting people, by the way, that send us death threats. Like, we're finding your IP address and arresting you."
I don't remember that. I remember people doing that with Checo's car, thinking that Checo's car was worse. Which
it's a tale as old as time. I mean, that one was a little based.
That one based in truth. Yeah, I fear. That's correct.
Yeah, they were like, well, we could give Checo upgrades, but then we'd have to take them out of the pile that we're keeping just in case Max wants more upgrades.
Is so crazy. Isn't that what they were doing with Yuki?
Yeah, they were literally saying, like, we have all these spare parts. Well, they weren't spare parts. They were supposed to be for Yuki's upgrades,
Yuki's parts.
but they were using them as, like, just in case Max needs these parts. They were
my sister's keepering Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was so crazy. That's what I mean. Like, we have to use the word sabotage for when it fits. You know what I mean? We can't boy cried wolf saboteurs.
Correct.
We gotta use it when it works. And Yuki would like a word probably with these McLaren fans. He'd probably be like, "You want to see real fucking sabotage, you idiots?"
God. Crazy.
But it's so funny. I think I said last episode, I've recently gotten back on Twitter, and I think it's quite funny, some of the stuff that I see from like people whose frontal lobes haven't developed yet, and they're like clearly going through like a fangirl phase because they're apparently like writing emails to the McLaren headquarters being like, "You guys,"
they were sending letters too. Yeah, I remember that.
That is so funny. They're like signing petitions, like change.org petitions, be like, "McLaren needs to stop sabotaging Lando," and there's like a competing one that's like, "They need to stop sabotaging Oscar." Guys,
they're gonna cancel each other out, guys. Stop doing that.
They're gonna be like, "We don't know what to do." Both of these change.org petitions are for the exact opposite thing.
They're like, every time they get a letter, they like sort it into one side or the other.
They're like, "Oh no,
they're even. What are we going to do? How are we supposed to know who to stop sabotaging?" Gosh, everyone is so creative.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I also think it's fun. I think it's fun that Gabby Bortoletto got P6. I think it's fun that Aston Martin is actually all better. Aston Martin's all better, guys. They're all better. They remembered that they have Adrian Newey on their team. They remembered.
He just had to find himself again. It's a big transition. And a few weeks ago, he was just standing in the mirror going, "I'm useless. I'm useless." But he was able to put it back together. And now, look, I mean, they're competing for the World Constructors Championship. Would you have believed it?
Would you have
a couple weeks ago?
My favorite thing about Fernando Alonso is that if you allow that man to qualify well, if you allow him into Q3, you have made such a grave error because he will back everybody the fuck up behind him. Like, he DRS trains the fuck out of that field. Everybody is behind him. Nobody's passing him. He's like, "If I'm going slow, we're all going slow. You allowed me to get up here." It's a price you pay.
I think we're going to have an Alonso podium for the end of the year.
Please,
I think it's going to happen. Please. I hope so.
He's so fun. Love you, Fernando Alonso. You're a funny guy. And yeah, he has his little baby goat, Gabby Bortoletto, as his little protege. And he's going, "See how I made everybody wait behind me? Because I went the speed I wanted to go. And nobody can pass on these tracks." That's how you do it, Gabby. That's how you win in F1. Go as slow as possible and keep everyone behind you.
I mean, I think now that this season we're leaning into that more, I think it's working out for some people.
I think it's quite funny. I'm sorry. I'm going to giggle every time. This is what you guys wanted. This is the engineering series you guys all wanted, by the way. You at home, you wanted this. We tried to tell you to watch IndyCar. You insisted on watching this. Sorry. Anyways, IndyCar. You want to talk about it?
IndyCar. So the biggest thing that happened this last week on a Thursday, randomly, which really just took me out of the whole entire day. I had no one to talk to about it. Was the Fox Corporation, Fox Sports, acquired 1/3 of Penske Entertainment. Penske Entertainment, as you know, owns the entity IndyCar Series and also the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So they are now 1/3 owners of that, which is very, very exciting. Do not let the NASCAR fans make you think that we're going to get
Try to convince you
playoffs
otherwise.
or stage racing. Do not allow them to. They are working on their own demons, and it just happens to be in my comment section.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just kind of wrote down some of the interesting things from the press release. This is supposed to allegedly, quote, supercharge a new era of the NTT IndyCar season. That's crazy. But the promises that they make are to deliver innovative and industry-leading racing and entertainment events. Sure.
Love the sound of that.
Checks out. A hyper-engaged digital strategy and immersive content focus. So hopefully that means we get a little bit of, Andrea's going to do it. Hopefully that means Andrea and you at home.
No. What I was thinking was like, I know some IndyCar content creators.
Oh.
Do you think that we could be part of this immersive content focus? Do you think that like they could include people like us in it?
I sure would hope in some capacity they could. I think that could be really exciting. Like you and I have talked about inviting content creators to races, which we have seen more of since we have started working with Fox, we being IndyCar. But I'm also hoping this means we get more commercials. I'm hoping
can we get skits? More pretty
skits.
Please.
I'm hoping we get the kind of commercials that we do for like NASCAR where it's like, they have a script. Like they have a whole speaking script.
Please.
And then and then the third thing they offer, I don't really know what this means. Enhanced promotion and star building opportunities for the NTT IndyCar Series drivers. What I'm assuming, I guess, because we kind of saw it last year. I feel like it was a bigger thing in the lead up to the Indy 500. Like Joseph Newgarden went to like the Super Bowl pre-show. Maybe it's more like a crossover with like their other sports that they have on Fox. I don't know. I'm excited, but I definitely know.
I definitely think that it is like trying to make the IndyCar drivers more recognizable amongst other Fox Sports events beyond just like football, which they did do, like you said, before the Super Bowl. I think that it would be interesting to see whether this is like more drivers than just the like big three that we've been rocking with lately.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see like I think that there are some that we're not tapping into that do have star potential. There's some that I'm like, you know what? Not all of us have to be stars. You know what I mean? Like you're not serving that. So I don't know what Fox intends to do with you, but this just you go out there and drive the car and have a good time.
Yeah.
But there's some that didn't get the opportunity to be stars that I think are stars.
I mean, even like appreciating some of the GOATs, like Scott Dixon, Will Power. Can I call Will Power a GOAT? I'd like to. Will Power. I mean, Christian Rasmussen deserves a spin at his moment in front of the screen.
Scotty Mack is such a star. How are we not using him all the time?
Completely agree. Some of the younger guys, Rinus VeeKay.
I think Rinus is such a star. He's so funny.
I think so too. So hopefully we see a little bit more of that. I'm also hoping that this means we get some kind of revival of like the 100 Days to Indy series, maybe in a different capacity because like, I mean, 100 Days to Indies, but guys, we're going for months after Indy. So maybe we watch the full season. I actually don't know like where we're at with 100 Days to Indy, like if it's in limbo right now, because I keep hearing that there's like production.
They released a new season of it, but they released it only on like Newsmax or some shit. And I was like, oh, right. So I'm not giving that my information.
Yeah.
That weird ass app that you guys have that like also is like, it seems like Breitbart News or something. Like I'm not giving that my email address with love.
Yeah, I fear I'm not about that.
Yeah, I think if I was Fox, don't do that. Some people were talking about how they would like streaming availability of IndyCar. I'm curious what Fox Sports like streaming partnerships look like. That could be interesting.
They were supposed to have a streaming service this year for IndyCar, but that got #sued. But it does sound like last I heard it is supposed to start up for next year, knock on wood. But I think streaming would help immensely with some of the numbers we're seeing on the weekends.
Exactly. People do not have cable in the same way. So like I definitely think streaming would be a great option. So talking about some of the concerns, I saw a lot of people talking about like, this means we're going to get stage racing. This means we're going to get playoffs. I feel like they have come in front of that and already directly addressed how they plan on like changing the competitiveness potentially of IndyCar, because I do think that is something that they would like. I think any media partner would like the racing to be entertaining. To me, they sound like they're interested in more technology and innovation in the car to change competitiveness. Do you think that this is going to speed up some of that like Dallara chassis 2028 timeline? Do you think that we're going to see like more engine manufacturers in the sport? Like, what do you think is going to be?
I think definitely looking at other engine manufacturers, which I know people are also kind of nervous about because they don't want it to turn into like a F1 type situation where it's more of an engineering series. Whether or not it's going to speed up the Dallara chassis situation or like the regulations for 2028, I would say no. But hopefully it'll just make that like deadline more solid, because I feel like the closer we get, the further away we get. No, but like the stage racing playoff stuff, first of all, it simply wouldn't be the first choice for IndyCar. Like, it doesn't really make sense. We don't really have an issue with that. Like, even in a series where Alex Palou is winning all season, it's like the viewership isn't like drastically dropping off. So it's like we don't really have that issue. Also, they have never once said that they've even considered it. So like maybe if like Doug Bowles comes out in a couple months and he's like, we've been looking at other options, you know, maybe taking some influence from NASCAR, then I'll be like, uh-oh. But until that happens, I have no reason to believe we would ever fall down that path.
Yeah. I think that some of the other things I've heard through the grapevine that they've mentioned is wanting to extend the IndyCar season, which I think we've all expressed that is a key vulnerability of IndyCar's success. It's like just when people are starting to get into it, the fucking season is over. And then these people drop off the face of the earth for 6 months. You do not hear anything about IndyCar until literally the week of fucking St. Pete. And it's like, I forgot this fucking sport existed, because like that is naturally what human brains do when I have not heard from something in 6 months. So I definitely believe, you know, we've been talking a lot about what's going to replace Iowa. Are we going to go to Phoenix? Are we going to go to Homestead? Are we going to go to Richmond? I'm starting to believe like the answer, if not this year, but maybe next year, will be all of the above. Like it will be not an or, but an and. Like we will go to Phoenix and Homestead and Richmond and Mexico City. And you know what I mean? Like they will want all of the above because they want to add to that calendar. And I think the drivers are interested in that too. Part of me, I like have heard on some like podcasts and stuff like that where drivers have kind of said like, I would like to race more. Like I don't love the way our calendar is set up where it's like we raced every weekend in the month of July and then it's like now the season's almost over and I'm gonna fuck off for 6 months.
Yeah, I definitely could see that happening in the future. Or even if we don't add races, like you were saying, why are we having 4 races in July? I know I personally hate the race right after the month of May. I know other people don't, like the fact that Detroit is the weekend after the Indy 500, whatever, what have you. But it's like at least spreading those out. And then just more of a diversity in our schedule, more ovals. Yeah. I hear from a little birdie that we got to go to the East Coast more.
That's
things
me,
like
guys.
That.
I'm the birdie.
She's the little birdie. I think it's going to be, overall, I think it's going to be good. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping that by having Fox own a part of Penske Entertainment, we're going to get some of that advertising for those races that are Penske Entertainment advertised. Like, I don't know, just throw some out there. Maybe like the Iowa race that could have been maybe saved by Fox. That would have been cool. Have you guys heard anything about Nashville? No? Well, that's another Penske Entertainment race.
Yeah.
But so I'm hoping like that kind of thing. Even if we don't like expand to like 10 new places next year, like at least having like, okay, the places that we are going to, they're properly advertised. People know when they are. People are excited for them. We're not like killing off any ovals before we get there. That would be my hopes and dreams. But also this deal includes a multi-year extension of the broadcast, which I think a lot of us saw coming. And I know a lot of people have their gripes and their grievances with the broadcast this year, especially because of like incidents where they have a full screen commercial while they're having a restart. Sure. But my hope is that now that they have this vested monetary interest in IndyCar, they're like, okay, well, we're directly making money off of this now. Like, we have a vested interest. We're a part of this. Like, we're not here to fuck around. That's my hope.
Yeah. I think like they're literally saying like, we are refusing to let this sport fail. We are literally putting our money on the line, and we will not like allow this to slip into like nothingness. Like, this sport, I don't know, like there has been times this year where I've been like, this sport feels like it's really on a fucking death spiral right now. And when you find out the entire sport, the entire fucking IndyCar is like valued at like 400 million, it's not a lot. That's not a lot of money, guys. I was like, we were poor this whole fucking time. I felt like we were poor, but it's weird to know we were poor.
Because apparently the like acquisition was like in the ballpark of 125 million to 130 million, and then like not even a couple days later, the same day we find out that Rick Ware Racing is worth like 150 million, and I was like, you're telling me a NASCAR team that runs at the back of the pack every weekend is worth 1/3 of IndyCar? I'm gonna lose my mind. I crazy.
Like, thank God Fox didn't want to fucking buy Rick Ware Racing. Thank God.
Yeah,
it's the same price, but like
it was so between scary. The two. He was like, I was weighing my options, but I really like Rinus VeeKay, so I think I'm gonna buy IndyCar.
And I think that this is like a sign of affirmation towards the potential sponsors that the teams really need. I think that like. Yes. I would think that like major commercial partners now, like maybe we could get some sponsors that are not like made up fucking cryptocurrency schemes and stuff. Like, it'd be nice to get like real sponsors on these cars. Sure would be fun. I don't know.
And I think furthermore,
be nice for them.
No, I agree. And it kind of gives like the team owners, it gives the team some value, because I don't know if you guys heard, we're a charter system now. Right. Which means, but all of the charters are like valued at like $5 million. But it's like, so if we can, I don't know, if we can make some money, guys, if you think we can make some money soon, that maybe these charters are worth a little bit more, so that every year I'm not like, oh my God, is someone going to sell a charter to Prema? You know?
No, that's so true. Also, like, if you guys don't start watching IndyCar, these guys are going to lose their jobs. You know what I mean? It's like, you like Pato? Oh, you like Pato? Okay, then tune into fucking Iowa Speedway so Pato can have a job.
If you guys like IndyCar, if you like IndyCar above all else, just please turn on the TV. I think that's the biggest way to help them. You don't even have to watch it. You can, you know what, you can put Bridgerton right next to it. I just assume everyone who likes IndyCar likes Bridgerton. I'm probably right, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But it's truly, you can pay with your views.
Yeah. Every IndyCar oval that you tune into is another day that Rinus VeeKay might have a job.
In the arms. Here, you just say that and I'll sing that in the background. Okay. In the arms.
Every time you turn on Fox and you watch an oval that's not the Indy 500, Rinus VeeKay gets another day on that track. He's like 24. He's a baby. He has his whole life in front of him. It's your responsibility. No, it's good.
The rest of the song. Okay, cool.
No, I
did kind of start to cry a little bit.
You guys gotta watch IndyCar, please.
Please.
I don't know. I personally, I love the energy from the NASCAR fans and how you guys really like are concerned about IndyCar. I think that like our situations might be a little different, and to like directly compare them isn't really probably the most helpful thing. You guys are talking about the Fox broadcast. It's like, well, I could help you guys out with the NASCAR Fox broadcast. Do you guys have Townsend Bell, Will Buxton, and James Hinchcliffe? No? Okay, then that's part of your problem. I see.
That's
we're
your
not the
issue.
same. Do you guys
That's
have
your issue.
James Hollywood Harvey? Jack Hollywood Harvey? James. Okay. James Hinchcliffe. He's also kind of Hollywood now. He's at the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's kind of Hollywood. But like, you guys don't have Georgia. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're not the same. Don't try to say that the Fox broadcast is the same as the NASCAR broadcast. It's not. It's not.
It's not. Although, and I just want to float something by you, thoughts on the potential of a IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader weekend, since they're both going to be on Fox for at least part of the season, so it'd have to be early. What would it be? Yeah, because we're making an oval to the 3rd.
What you're meaning is that they would be at the same location racing,
yes,
in the same weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What if we did the early spring Phoenix race as the first oval for IndyCar? And NASCAR goes there in the spring.
I would be interested to see IndyCar on Phoenix.
I think the problem is that like it'd be kind of a lot for it to be like the first doubleheader and also the first
oval
for like IndyCar to be out there doing ovals. You know what I mean? Like they would need like extensive practice running time. Like,
what if we do Gateway just earlier in the season? Because I know NASCAR's run at Gateway. Fuck it, let's do Pocono. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't even have to say it. You were reading my mind.
Fuck it, let's do Pocono. We could do Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, I think that Phoenix and Homestead are pretty early in the NASCAR season because of the weather, like being nice there. And that's what we would also need for a pre-500 oval. So I think like double header weekend, NASCAR and IndyCar, same weekend, same place, Phoenix or Homestead. Let's do it bright and early in April or March. And let's like get this let's get the cats a cooking, okay? And we're going to be there.
Yeah.
By the way.
Broadcasting.
You gotta be. I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but like.
Yeah. Get us in the booth.
Get us in the booth. Yeah, Fox knows what's up. Fox, call us. Okay, we are saying nice things about you, and that's rare on the internet. So like, you should take advantage of that where necessary.
Something to think about.
I don't know. Yeah, I think like people that like want to boo-hoo this, it's like, well, what other better ideas do you guys have? Huh? Like, do you guys have any better ideas?
It's also not to your benefit to boo-hoo because it's like it's happening.
I already signed it.
So it's like I would just rather be cautiously optimistic than like enragingly pessimistic. And that's that on that. Back to you, Andrea.
You just put Zach Brown says he's excited, if that means anything to anyone. I think that means some things to some people.
Yeah.
Not us, but some people.
He thinks, he was saying it's kind of like the Liberty Media acquisition of Formula One. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think okay. That there has been a lot of people that are like, Liberty Media did kind of save F1 because they're a media company and they were ready to put the fucking cash down to make these races like something worth going to. And I was like, fuck it. If Fox wants to be our sugar daddy, if he wants to run his fucking checkbook and give us some little social media ads or something, like, run that checkbook, Fox.
Who am I to say no?
No, that's so true. The other things that we saw were lots of social media shenanigans after the race last week. So we had Kyle and Renus going back and forth on Twitter, where like Renus posted a tweet being like, LOL, I was having a good day till Kyle punted me off track. And then Kyle like responded to that and was like, I can't believe you would blast me on social media like this. Like, it really wasn't that serious. I have my opinion, which is like, I do think Kyle was being a little soft. Like, it is kind of like, it was on national TV, love. Like, we all saw it. Like, Renus posting the video on Twitter. Like, what does that have to do? Like, it was on TV.
He cross-posted it. It was on literally every platform, which I was like, that's excessive. You have to choose a platform.
One platform, Renus. You get to shit talk on one platform.
But I think it was, I mean, it did screw up Kyle's races too. Kyle's race as well. But I was like, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of like, if he's going to say something, like, Kyle's totally in the right to say something back. Also, like, Kyle didn't mean to do it, and to be like, sucks that our day got ruined by such a, like, intentional mistake or something. And Kyle was just like, it was literally a mistake. Like, I said I was sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. Like,
See, this,
people are just, like, sending me death threats. Like, what do you want me to do?
I knew that this would be a fight with us because I was like, I know at the end of the day, I'm going to be on Renus's side and she's going to be on Kyle's
I think I'm on a third side where I'm like, the fact that you guys still have Twitter is insane to me.
Yeah. It's like, it is funny a little bit though. You can't do that on Threads.
Oh, I think, yeah, no, I was more leaning towards like, let's just not do it at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I truly don't care either way. Like, they do this all the time where they, like, go back and forth at each other.
I think it's fun.
On Twitter and whatever. Yeah, it's like, have a hoot and a holler if you want.
So one that I thought was genuinely funny, and then unfortunately it got taken down, which made me think that he got told to take it down, was Felix Rosenquist, like, randomly on the middle of the day on, like, Monday, posted on Instagram story that was just an onboard of him getting punted by Kiffin. And it had an Instagram poll that was like, do you think that this should be a penalty? Yes or no? It was taken down after about like 2 hours, but I think that's such a funny thing because I'm like, okay, so clearly he thinks it should be a penalty. He's mad that it wasn't. And he's like, fuck it. I'm going to download this onboard. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to fucking put a little poll sticker on there and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And then like an hour later, somebody probably called him and was like, hey, you can't do that. We have a technical partnership. And from Felix
too is so funny. It is so funny coming from Felix. But I hope that someone brings the freaking cauldron, the hate cauldron, to Portland. We have not seen it once this year and we're getting content like this all the time. I hope James Hinchcliffe. What?
There's hate a brewing.
Yeah. We got to get the cauldron, guys. The bit can prosper. We just simply have to. Someone has to bring the prop.
Somebody has to fucking bring the prop. Guys, put it in a fucking hauler. Somebody can bring this prop.
Get it,
please.
Here. Make a new one. Go to a local Dollar General. I'm sure they have those in Portland.
They have
Give me a hate cauldron.
They're fucking shit up all the time in Portland. That's a big soup city. I know they have cauldrons.
Huge soup city.
Soup is just doing numbers out there in Portland.
So much soup. It's in the streets.
I think first hate cauldron submission is Connor Daly and Santino Ferrucci. I just thought that was funny that they were beefing. Second is Kyle and Renus. I think that's funny. We could also have Kyle and Will Power, but like that one's like maybe a little too dead of beef. Like maybe that beef is dead.
We could also have like, didn't Will Power put Louis Foster into the wall too?
Well, we could have a separate
it would be hard
for Will. We could have a separate cauldron for Will. Everybody just come in and throw a jersey into the Will one. You know what I mean?
And he'd be like, no, guys, I get it. I was crazy back then. It was like 2 weeks ago.
He's like, I've grown over this little 1 week break we've had.
Yeah.
I'm a different guy. Okay. What is this that you added to the doc at the end? What's going on here?
We're on Colton Herta's Super License watch. Did you guys forget about that?
Yeah, I did. I thought he had to win the championship to get a super license.
No, Andrea. No, of course not. And I'm taking this word for word. No, I'm taking this at his word. Nathan Brown on his podcast, he said this. So I'm stealing this from Nathan Brown. I did not check his math because I was like, it's Nathan Brown. I don't need to check his math.
He's fine. Yeah, he's good.
But to get a super license, apparently he needs to finish 4th or get 5th place, which he seems a little bit more on track to do, and get an FP1. And Nathan Brown on his podcast, me just like fully taking this from his podcast.
We're adding a funny twist to it, Nathan. I hope you don't mind.
We're respecting the craft, Nathan. Thank you so much, because I forgot Colton Herta was even on Super License Watch. But said that this would be a good moment for anyone who was actually interested in him, because a lot of the teams are like, no, we would have loved to have Colton. We would have loved to have Colton. He just doesn't have a super license, and that's such a big deal.
To apply
in FIA, to just give him an FP1. It's like, well, if you really wanted him, put him in for free practice. Put up or shut up.
Do you think that that's why we haven't heard anything from Cadillac about their driver lineup? Like, I was kind of Dream is dead, but now I'm kind of like, Dream is back on, because why the fuck have they not announced a single fucking driver for that team?
I think there's a logical part of my brain where it's like, no, that's not the reason, but there's a much louder and like squishier part of my brain that's like, yeah. They're gonna get Colton Herta, I think.
Yeah, be afraid, guys. Our fucking American hero is coming to F1. I knew there'd be a day.
It's gonna happen. But they also talked about, they're like, yeah, and then another part is like, does he really want to go? And I'm like, no, stop. I just want to see him. I just want to see him get the license. I want to see him take his little photo for the super license, because I'm assuming it's like a physical card. I don't know. And I just want him to be like, I got it, my super license. Take that.
You know what's so annoying is that Pato is already going to get FP1s. He already said that he's doing FP1s for McLaren once the season for IndyCar is over. I'm like, no, Pato. You don't have a super license. You have to donate them to Colton.
Well, that was another thing they talked about on Nathan Brown's podcast. I wonder, he's really, guys, you gotta listen to this podcast. Much more insightful than any shit we're spewing over here.
He's really good at his job. Fuck.
Really good. But they were talking about, like, even would Zach Brown be willing to give him one of these FP1 spots just to kind of be like, you know, like IndyCar Alliance, American Alliance, something like that. Be like, guess what? You guys can have, if you let Colton do an FP1, you guys can have Marcus Ericsson or something. Like something
maybe
like that.
They'll be like, if you guys let him have one of your FP1s for F1, we will give you like a spare chassis for whoever's gonna crash the fuck out in your rookie test for the Indy 500. Like, I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Dude, guys. We're like fucking international bargaining right now. You know what I mean? It's like, there comes a point where I just cannot believe we do this podcast every week for free and we're not on the IndyCar payroll. It's like, I'm literally solving your problems for you. I'm so tired of doing this for free.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I think it might be interesting. Just keep an eye out.
Okay, so I feel like we talked about this a very, very long time ago. The dream has been dead for a while for us, for like an IndyCar driver to go to F1.
Yes.
I think my opinion has changed, but what is your thoughts on like a Colton Herta going to F1? Would you be pro or against it?
I mean, if that's what he wants, I would be excited for him, but I would feel like something was still like left on the table if he never got an Indy 500 win or a championship win in IndyCar, because he's so perfect for IndyCar, even like with these seasons that are less than stellar. But obviously, if that's his dream, you know, I'm gonna follow him on his dream, unless he goes to some dumbass team like Ferrari, in which case I'm gonna go, you're useless, I'm out.
I'd follow him to hell and back. I just wish he'd stop going there.
Literally. But what about you? You support Colton in his dreams?
I originally was yes, because I've been MJ hears about it all the time, guys. I'm so desperate for an American talent to go to F1. I'm so tired of these snide-ass little bitches thinking like, oh, Americans can't do F1. It's like, no, you can't get a fucking super license. That's the problem, not the F1 part.
Right.
Beyond, whatever. That's fine. Fine, whatever. Put that aside. I've now kind of come to the point where like I don't want it to happen, particularly not like for Cadillac, because we don't probably assume that Cadillac is going to come out the gate with like a extremely strong situation. Like they don't even have a driver lineup right now, and we're like pretty far into this season. Like they're supposed to be on the grid next year, whatever. I don't want Colton to go over there, be in a less than stellar car, and affirm European opinions about IndyCar, being like, oh, this is the talent you guys gave us. Like he's spinning out every week, and it's like, because he's in a car that just existed this year for the first time ever. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's like more of like, I do feel very protective right now over American motorsports, and I wouldn't want it to like somehow reflect on IndyCar as a sport. I already see so many annoying people being like, any F1 driver could go to IndyCar and win. And I'm like,
who are we talking about?
Yeah, like they literally said, they looked in the camera and said, please don't send me there. Those people are fucking crazy. I don't want to do that. Please, no. And people are like, yeah, they could win.
With those people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I just think that like Colton going to Cadillac and Cadillac being somehow like a failure in their first year, which is totally fine for them to be, would somehow affirm people's thoughts and opinions. And I also don't think Colton needs to go and have a bad time in F1. It's like he already does enough of that in IndyCar.
He's already having a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if we got like a Pato to McLaren situation, I would feel a little bit different about that, because I do think that Pato would be good at F1 and I think McLaren would be competitive. So it would be like a different situation.
Yeah, I think that's...
Or when Alex Palou was like being talked about for F1, it's like, well, he's not going to go to some fucking steak sour, so we're fine. You know what I mean? I'm fine.
He was going to go to McLaren is where he was going to go. And I'm sure Zach Brown stays up at night thinking about how Alex Palou...
Yeah, he probably looks at Oscar and Lando and he's like, I gave these fuckers a rocket ship and we're still maybe not going to get a 1-2 every weekend. He's probably like, I can't bear to look at it any longer. That's why he doesn't come to IndyCar races, is because he just is like, please, can I have Alex Palou and put him in my car for F1, please? I just got to see something.
You missed your chance. You fool. You silly little goober.
So...
Bless his heart.
Okay, do you want to talk about NASCAR?
NASCAR. This concludes the IndyCar section of our podcast, and we will move on to NASCAR.
Do you need a drink? Do you need to recharge?
Me? No. It's just going to make it really clear when you do your timestamps.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have like the energy to go through NASCAR? Do you feel it?
I'm literally going to do my best.
Okay, let's go. So, pre-race stories for NASCAR. We had the MLB game at Bristol. It was called the Speedway. Fuck,
I didn't know it had a name. It was super freaking cool. There were bad things. There were good things. Let's talk about the good things.
There were bad things. Enough on that. We haven't touched on it at all, but that's good. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Moving on. They did this super cool like pit crew not driver walkout, player walkout. Like the way that they do like the driver walkout, they did the player walkout. They had a little pit crew there. I said that was super cool. It just watching videos of people being there, I was like, that looks super cool. That seemed very super cool. And then there was a home run hit, and they had a pace car take a lap.
Like
that was sick. What an amazing foresight they had to do that. Okay, we'll talk about the bad things really quick, but no one's allowed to dwell on them, okay? It rained. It downpoured like a lot.
Do you want me to cover the bad things?
No, because I'm just going to do it like Band-Aid gets like pulled off like quickly. Okay, here's some bad things. The signal was very, very bad. The internet was very, very bad, which is always kind of scary when you go somewhere. It rained, it downpoured like really, really bad, and apparently they just like weren't really prepared to handle it. That's too bad. Also, it was the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. That kind of sucks. That's not great. And then also they waited until like 10 p.m. and then they finally called the game, and then it played today at 1 p.m., which coincidentally it did like coincide with the actual NASCAR race that was happening today. Not that it really matters, because I think a lot of the people that went to this game were baseball fans, but I know that Brake Card was there, and I know that he probably didn't get to watch the NASCAR race. Yeah, that's probably too bad. I also think he's a Cubs fan, which, that's also too bad. But that's all the bad things, and Blooper was there, and Blooper, but they're Blooper, the mascot.
Of which team? Is that the Braves or the...
I think it's the Braves.
Okay, right. So you can see how I wouldn't have been able to...
Yeah. He's Blooper. And but there was this moment when it started downpouring, he took off all his clothes and sat out the track. And I was just really worried about him.
You can't be on a hot track like that, Blooper. This pace car could come flying by at any moment. I would hate for you to get hit.
This is not safe. But besides that, It looked pretty cool, and I would love for them to do it again.
You forgot the part where they ran out of food.
Oh, I should have put that in the bad section. Yeah, another bad thing is they did run out of food, which that's really unfortunate. I don't really know how you do that. So people were really hungry. But also, aren't all the concession workers on strike right now?
In everywhere all the time?
I guess I don't know.
You know, I think that there are some certain arenas and stuff, yes, but I'm assuming
Not
it's
Bristol?
like tied to a certain company or something. There's no way it could be every place ever that has concessions.
I don't know. I was just going to try to blame it on the fans for crossing a picket line, but I guess it's probably just poor planning on Bristol.
No,
or
I think that's
I guess
good.
MLB's part.
Yeah, if you guys are going to an event where like the concession stand workers are on strike, like, sorry you didn't have fucking buns for your hot dog, but they don't have food to put on the table for their family either. So what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that applies to this.
No, I don't either. I'm sorry for putting that on you guys. You all seem fine.
I don't think you guys would cross a picket line, right?
No.
Right?
Okay. Yes?
No, I was preparing for your point that you're about to say next.
Oh, SVG has finally won on an oval.
Okay, we'll rehearse that one later. Yes, he won on an oval. Where did he win though? Charlotte Motor Speedway, right?
Charlotte Motor Speedway in a Legends car, which are just the dinkiest little cars ever. I'm so enamored by these dinky little cars. I would love to go watch a full race.
I think we could drive Legends cars, right? Like you and I could drive one of those,
I
right?
think we could drive them. I don't think I could race them because I would be very afraid of being touched by another Legends car.
I would be very scared of rolling over. They seem like they just look like a shape that could easily topple over.
I bet they have roll cages though, which does make me feel a little bit better, but MJ does not roll. She does not like to roll.
Guys, would you guys like... Do you think that we could like have a laps down Legends car in the shootout next year? What do you guys think?
Oh,
do you think that we could get to that level of fame as a podcast, or we could make that happen?
Maybe we just got to know somebody. Is what we got to do. We got to know somebody.
Well, I know SVG and Scotty Mack and Bubba Wallace, and they're my good friends, and they race in this.
That's a great place to start, I think.
Yeah.
Also, Mexico ain't happening for NASCAR.
That was super fun that one time we did it. Just that one time. I do think it's because Daniel Suarez doesn't have a seat anymore. They were like, okay, so we don't really have to do that probably again.
I did kind of wonder if that was but it did so well. Everyone was so excited for it. I was excited for it. You were excited for it. Everyone.
The fans were excited for it. Literally every single person that was at that race was like, dude, these fans are fucking hype for NASCAR.
I know.
They literally had a cutout of Todd Gilliland. Where do you even buy that? Where do you buy that? Where do you buy a cutout of Todd Gilliland? I don't even know where you could purchase that. I don't know. I thought it was really fun while it lasted. Thank goodness we're going to Chicagoland. Is that even a fucking functioning track? Like the last time I saw it on Carson Hocevar's story, it looked like a decimate, like deserted fucking shithole.
Yeah, that's
Carson's
the one.
words.
That's the one, the shithole. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm a little kidding.
Did you see on Twitch where he was like, I cannot say that anymore. No more saying shithole.
Dude,
But he did say it was he said that it was like not seemingly usable, so I don't really know why we're even like being like, that's where we're going next.
Do we need to add anything to there's like 900 races. Just leave them the way they are.
Do you think they could have 2 weeks off? They could have Easter and this weekend that we did Mexico City. Do you think that they could have 2 weekends off with their family?
Give them 2 weekends
or is that
off.
Too much?
They're just so sad all the time, going to races every weekend and hearing the words playoff. Just give them some time off. Give them a spring break.
Spring break. Instead of going to Mexico for racing, they can go to Mexico for beaching.
Yeah, there you go.
Xfinity.
You want to talk about Xfinity?
I'll talk about the Xfinity race. Okay, so first of all, I think we talked about it last week. Austin Hill purposely tried to murder somebody. By someone, it was Eric Amarola, whatever the fuck his name
allegedly,
is.
not actually murdered.
Not actually, but he tried. And then he was like, he tried. He literally was like, I'm going to crash your car.
Legally, we cannot say that.
Okay, he allegedly maybe thought about it, didn't do it, but did crash him out. Fine, if I get sued by Austin Hill for this, I'll be like, well,
God.
you were suspended for it, so I don't know. The evidence is on my side.
Think of how many times you'd have to see him in court, though, and for that reason alone, you shouldn't do it.
No, that's upsetting. Well, he got suspended, so forfeits all his playoff points, suspended. Oh, thank God he didn't go to that state that MJ lives in. She could have accidentally ran into him. Thank God he wasn't there. But anywho, they put one of the Dylans, Austin Dillon,
yeah, not
in
the good
his
one.
car. Yeah, he was crashed out almost immediately in the race. So, like, I was like, okay, perfect. He's filling the role of Austin Hill perfectly. That's good. Right on. So then we had Connor Zilic, who he was doing very well. He got a penalty. And I think he reminded everyone this weekend that he is like a 19-year-old boy, because he literally was like Call of Dutying on the radio. He was like calling out random drivers and being like, how am I back here with these losers? Which after the race, then those people had to be like,
it was
on
Parker. What was it? Parker Retzlaff? And he was just like, he was like, I'm fucking by Parker. And Parker
he's like, what place could we be in? I'm by Parker. And Parker's like,
hey, what'd you say fuck me for?
He's like, we were in 17th, and that's good for me, Connor. Please stop.
Connor.
And I don't know, it was just very interesting to hear him crash out on the radio. He then ended up spinning Justin Allgaier with the
massacred him.
Was Ross Chastain on the scene of the crime?
He was at the scene of the crime, but I would say that
it was mainly Connor.
The smoking gun was held by Mr. Silly Zilly.
I hate that. Don't say that, please.
I've heard that multiple times today. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing now.
If you guys keep saying that, so I'm going to have to call the cops. I don't want to, but you're going to make me. I don't know. It's just very interesting. It was interesting to see how quickly everybody turned on him, though, because on Twitter, everybody was like, he's got to learn how to keep his cool. Like, you can't win every race. Like, this just goes to show how immature he can be, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I hear grown men act like this in the cup race every weekend. He's just training. This is like what they do.
Fine. Yeah, he's just making sure that Trackhouse knows that he can perform at a cup level.
He's gonna bitch on that radio. Ryan Blaney levels of cussing. Yeah. He's performing. As expected.
Good.
But Sam Bayer won. And this is interesting because you kind of seemed like this is why I wanted to bring this up to you. You kind of seem endeared by Sam Bayer.
I do. I don't know. I haven't Googled if he's controversial yet. So that's tentatively.
Okay, yeah, I haven't either. Okay, that's fine. But after he won, he got out of his car. He ripped the front of his fire suit open. And he was wearing fireproofs that had like Sam, it was like SM, like his initials, but in like a Superman logo-esque type sort of situation. And you texted that to me like it was like endearing or like kind of funny.
I was physically speaking to you on FaceTime.
Oh, really?
And I was like explaining it to you.
Yeah, we were on FaceTime.
Are you going to say that it was cringe?
I don't have any opinion on it. I just wanted to let you know that people are saying that he's a cornball. That's like the word of choice that they're going for.
I would say
corny. He's a cornball. Like he's auraless. He's a cornball. So like, do you think that like, I think that you can still like somebody that's a cornball. You just have to accept them for who they are.
I'm 100% down with cornballs. Like that's totally not an issue for me. Like corny, totally fine. Even cringy. Sometimes I'm like, well, it seemed like you had fun. Like not a big deal. Like. I just like that he has a bit. I love a bit.
I think with cringe, you have to like commit to it for a very long time before it comes back around to being kind of endearing. Like there's like people on TikTok that like do cringe stuff, but if they do it long enough, I start to be endeared by it. You can't be cringe once and then pull out. You're like, you got to commit to it. If you're going to be cringe, you're going to be cringe.
I guess it kind of depends on what it is.
Do you think that me in the TikTok that I posted right before we started filming this, where I sang F1 songs like Hugh Jackman, like, do you think I should like pull out or just keep going?
I don't think that was cringe. I think that was cornball.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I think it's like totally fine. It's like you knew what you were doing. You knew it was corny. It was good.
Sick. Okay, we can keep moving forward then. I just wanted your take on that. I really just put all this Xfinity stuff in there just so we could get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kyle Busch crashes into the wall during practice and went to a backup car for the weekend. Didn't look like that was fun. Not a fun time when he hit the wall.
Oof. As they were on his onboard, like highlighting him, he crashed. And I was like, rats. That's actually not an optimal time to crash your car.
I do think it is interesting, like, he crashed, and he probably was like, what is this on the wall? And they're like, oh, that's from Stingray Rob.
Yeah.
That's his paint right there. Yep, he was here.
Stingray's
and that's
paint
Nolan
job.
right there. Yeah, Nolan, we had to fix the wall.
Crazy.
He had to stop
Bless his
the
heart.
race. Bless his heart. So there was that. Chase Briscoe once again is on pole. He's unstoppable. He's the fastest man alive, unless it's a race. Then
Unless
he's
it's
not
a Sunday.
What's going on there? How can you be so fast in qualifying and so not in the race? It's like a feat of engineering. I'm almost interested enough to learn how these cars are set up to understand how that's even possible.
I think it's even deeper than that. And I think it's just stage fright. And when he's out there alone, it's like fine. But then when there's other people around, he gets a little nervous. A little bit of performance anxiety.
That's probably it. Yeah. I'm glad we cleared that up. Chase, just like picture them in their underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be nervous. That's just Joey Logano. He's not even going to do nothing. Just don't be scared of him. Yeah. The only person you could be scared of is maybe Kyle Larson. I'd be scared of that one. Because you might accidentally get crashed into, and that's not going to be fun for either of you guys.
But usually Bush is the one spinning people. So it's like, you're your own worst enemy out there, bud.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, just head in the game. He loses the lead immediately to William Byron. Like, literally, it was like right away. I was like, okay, so that was fun. He was pole for 2 seconds. Then in stage 1, they're like, Brad Keselowski's actually the fastest man on track. He was stuck behind Byron for a while, and Byron was stuck behind lap traffic, and it took like about 40 laps for him to finally pass William Byron. But I was like, this is so fun that Brad is the fastest man on track. He won stage 1. I love NASCAR, but I will say stage 1 was super fucking boring.
Yeah, like nothing happened the entire time. No cautions, nothing.
And so I was like, okay, we're just going to do this little race then, and we're going to get this shit wrapped up. In the process, Lee Diffie dropped a nickname for Carson that they used several times during the broadcast. I think they really want us to use this. What are your thoughts on Hurricane Hocevar? Do you like it? Should we give in to the propaganda of using it?
The first time I heard it, I said, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. But by the 6th or 7th time that Lee Diffie just refused to call him anything other than Hurricane Hocevar, I was like, okay.
Warming up to it.
Okay, yep. Lee, sure. If you want it, I want it.
And he was doing like hurricane-esque things. Like, it wasn't one of those races where Carson's like not doing nothing. It was like he was causing problems. So I was interested in like, what great timing, if ever, to like come up with such a quirky name for him.
I like it.
Okay. Well, I was really excited because we talked about how road course racers are so good on short ovals. I was like, this is the time. SVG is going to win his 2nd American oval. Let's go. Almost immediately, they were like, his brakes are fucked up. He then spun on lap 171. He also spun again on lap 263. And honestly, hate it when that happens. Freak. I wish they would just let SVG win on an oval, guys, please.
Who keeps sabotaging SVG so he doesn't win on an oval?
Who's doing it, guys?
Come forward. We promise we won't be mad. Just say who you are, Ross.
Ross, stop fucking cutting his brake lines right before the race.
Please.
You gotta stop doing that. It's really mean and also a little dangerous.
Erratic behavior.
That's insane of you, Ross, and you gotta stop. And we've talked about this several times. Okay, glad we've covered this. Also, he just looks so stunning in that little Red Bull, like, little get up.
Gorgeous.
You know what I mean? I just
gorgeous.
I want to see a Red Bull win at least one of these fucking races I watch every weekend. So if it's not going to be Max, it's going to have to be SVG. You guys are going to have to let him by. Good thing we're going to Watkins Glen next week. Do you think he's going to win Watkins Glen?
No.
Who do you think's going to win?
Ryan Preece.
I'm thinking Chris Buescher.
That's a good one. I'd love to see Chris Buescher win.
I think SVG's kind of like clocked out. He's like, I won a bunch of road courses and street courses, and then everybody bitched at me for like 3 weeks. So like, I'm not interested in starting that up again.
It's like, no, you guys want me to win? No, you were mean to me last time I won. Don't put me on your fantasy team. No.
Yeah. Put me on your fucking grid rival. I'm going to be hanging out in the back because I'm tired of getting yelled at. And frankly, This isn't my problem. I didn't make the playoff system. I got hired to show up here and win some races, and now everybody fucking hates me.
Yeah.
No. Period. So Carson, as we said, was causing problems. He spun out on the last lap of stage 2. They decided to just keep it green and let Brad win the stage.
Kind of crazy. It's all right.
Sure. Whatever. We're just making these rules up as we go. That's cool. And then Carson Hosmer later on decides to spin out Zane Smith. He like kind of lost it a bit, and he was like, Zane's going to have to come with me. And
yeah, he
Zane
gets loose, like really, really loose, and just moves Zane straight up the track.
He's like, if I'm going, you're going too. Like, this was honestly on you for being near me.
There was kind of an interesting move made by Zane on Carson, which kind of looked like, are you trying to wreck him out? But that is all alleged.
Was that before or after?
Before.
Because I saw that on board, but I didn't know when it took place. And
I believe it was before.
It was kind of pathetic because he does kind of look like he's trying to wreck him, but he like kind of swings and misses. Yeah. Like he tries to hook him, but like he's too slow, so it doesn't work.
I think it was before, because that was posted like right after the incident had happened, so I assume it was before. I guess maybe it could have been a revenge, but it was not very good if it was. That almost makes it worse.
Yeah, either way, it's kind of embarrassing for Zane. I bet he would have wished people wouldn't have posted that on board.
Yeah.
It's all right, buddy. You'll get him next time. So then we have Eric Jones on like lap 243. He is spun apparently by Chase Briscoe, kind of the similar situation where like he just kind of Chase got loose accidentally. Eric Jones has to pay the price. And then later on, like a couple laps later, like within 10 laps, he does basically the same thing, and he takes out Bell, Bubba, and Tyler, which it's like, yeah, sure, take out all the Toyotas. That's good. Just go ahead and wipe them all out. And he gets out of it fine, but like these other 3 cars do not. And there does come a point where it's like, Chase, do you need to be benched? Like, what's going on out there? Like, are you good? Like, do we need to like call you in and like regroup or something? Because you're just ruining everyone's day but your own. What's the matter with him?
That was bad. And as you'll notice, he's still not at the front of the racetrack where he qualified at. But he actually like radioed in to his spotter, and he was like, can you guys tell those other 2 cars that I was sorry? That was like totally my fault. Which was not the first time that had happened today. Someone else radioed in and was like, hey guys, that was my bad. Can you let them know? Try not to be mad at me. I'm like, that's crazy. And you mentioned like, I would love to have a camera up in like the little spotter's nest to see the spotters going over to each other and being like, hey, my driver said he was sorry for ruining your driver's race.
He said it really sincerely, and I think he does mean it, and he's not the type to say sorry, so he just wanted me to come over here and let you know. Yeah, I should be probably spotting right now, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew he was sorry deeply and sincerely. This is a Yeah, and we're taking an active listening role now. So if you want to talk about what's upsetting you about it, I can relay it down to him. Yeah, no, I could be spying. I think he's all right. He just really, above all else, wanted to make sure you got the time to talk about your feelings. We're working on a new thing here at Joe Gibbs. We're really trying to be supportive of ourselves and others. So if you want to, we can table this conversation for another time, but keep those feelings fresh because we want to make sure we're working on it. All right.
We want to make sure you're heard.
And watch out, there is bees over there.
Watch out for the bees. Oh, was that your driver? Uh-oh.
All right. Well, I gotta go. I got some more apologies to do. So it was nice talking to you, Jeff. Yeah, see, skits, they're fun, and you guys like them, so do more of them in life. Just do more skits and more bits. It's more fun. You know what I mean? So whatever, Chase Briscoe, live life as you see fit. Take out whoever's in your way.
He
and just
is living la vida loca. Am I right, Chase Briscoe?
He finished like towards the front in the end.
I
think he got a top 5 finish. So like honestly, it's like you guys maybe were in the way. I don't know. Maybe you guys were in his way. Like he was doing something. I think it's interesting. But there was an interesting point where like at the beginning of the race we were like there's nothing going on, and then it just became that dreaded time that you hate to see in a NASCAR race where they start saying cautions breed cautions. It's like every restart we're doing maybe 3 laps and something is going wrong. And it was getting to the point where everybody's annoyed. Even the commentators were annoyed. There was a part where they were like, there was just a side window out in the middle of the track, so they had to do a caution. But we didn't know that this was happening. We just saw the caution thrown. And Lee Diffie was like, all right, who is it this time? Show yourself. Who the fuck is it? Who caused the caution? He was so mad. He wanted to clock out so badly, and you people were making this go so long. It ran into the post-show TV listing. This race was so much longer than it needed to be. It ended up being Todd, so I know. It's fucking Todd. What are you going to do with that guy?
Todd, he was fine. Everyone was fine. The race eventually finished.
And William Byron, at the end, they kept saying William Byron's going to run out of fuel. He's going to run out of fuel. And then he didn't run out of fuel, and he ended up winning the race. I'm starting to get to the point where I don't think that the fuel is like even a fucking real threat. Like I've seen like 10 times this season where the person who won was like apparently running out of fuels. I'm watching this fucker do a victory lap. He's doing burnouts. He's doing another victory lap. This motherfucker was never low on fuel. He was never low on fuel, and stop lying to me. I don't appreciate the stress it causes. Because one of my biggest fears is running out of gas. Okay? The moment my light comes on, I'm like, where's the fucking nearest gas station? And people are like, you have 60 more miles. And I was like, that could be, I don't know what 60 miles is. That could be anything.
I don't know how many laps that is. Are you kidding?
How many laps is that? I don't know. Somebody, just let's stop and get the gas now. You know what I mean?
I respect that. It's a personal thing.
The moment your fucking light comes on, you guys need to go get gas. I'm tired of this. Stop lying to me. You know what? The next person that's in the lead of the race who's talking about how they're low on fuel, they have to run out of fuel. Or else I'm gonna genuinely be like, so this is fake.
This is not real. There never was any fuel.
These fuckers are running.
These are electric vehicles. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I fucking knew it this whole time. This guy on TikTok with 3 likes one time told me that they were electrical vehicles and that it was going to start with the podium celebration in Mexico City and it was going to lead to this. And he was fucking right, because ever since Mexico City, these bitches have not been running out of fuel ever. He went 200 laps on the same tires and no fuel. What are we doing? It's a 350 lap race. That's basically fine. He could have probably done the whole thing. Why'd we stop at all? Now I'm starting to get worked up. I think NASCAR is a fake sport, guys. I think it's fake, and I think you're being lied to, and it's time we wake up, sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple.
I've had it. Something else that you've had it with is the talk about the Iowa repave.
Oh my God. And dude, just the amount of time they go, oh, well, it's really hard to see where that repave is because it's been in the sun for so long. It's like, no fucking shit, it's been in the sun, it's outdoors. But then, like, they'd start to complain about the repave, and I'm like, it's your repave. You did this to us.
You ruined our fucking
it.
godforsaken sport IndyCar for your stupid repave.
And I'm not blaming, there was someone on Twitter who was like, you can't blame the failure of the Iowa IndyCar races on the repave. And I'm like, no. And I would never do that. But the races were dog shit last year because of this repave. And now you're like, oh, well, the repave is actually really difficult. You can't tell where it is. It all blends in. It's like, okay, I don't know. Think about that ahead of time. What do you want?
I'll say something crazy. Why would you just repave the corners? Like, that seems like that was always going to be a problem, right? Like, you have one part of the track, the corners, that is completely different than the straightaways. It's a short track, so a lot of it are corners. But, like, it is weird that you would just only do the corners, right?
Like, specifically where they did it at this track, too. It's like, yeah, no, I could have seen how down the line it may not be as good as the first year, for sure. I can see that.
Repave the whole thing.
Just get rid of the track.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. It just seemed like something that might be
just get rid of it. Fold the sport, fold the franchise, bomb Iowa, get rid of it.
That'll take care of the corn sweat. It's nuclear radiation.
Dude. Okay, so we had tangent. I don't have any fun facts for this week, but we had corn sweat up until like Wednesday. And then it went from like 120 degrees to like 70, and it's been cold ever since. But to replace this corn sweat, we have, like, even watching the broadcast, you could see it's so fucking smoky in Iowa from the Canada fires. They're like, hey, actually don't go outside. You can't really breathe. All of that. And I was like, that's so nice that we could have that for NASCAR when they came here. Also, here's a fun fact. I've seen a lot of people walking through the corn recently for like NASCAR promos. Hey guys, that's crazy. Do you guys know about corn spiders? Have you heard about corn spiders?
I don't think I want to. I think you're going to tell me anyways.
Just watching people walk through this corn, and these corn spiders, they come in herds, and they're about this big.
Herds?
Can y'all see?
I'm sorry,
they come in
what do you mean
herds,
by herds?
Like a cow, like cattle, a herd of cattle.
There's
You'll
several of them per corn?
Per cornita, like capita, several corn spiders. And so I see people walking through, and I'm like, here's the thing, though. Until you spot one, you're not going to spot any of them. But then once you spot one, you're going to spot them all.
Can I tell a tangent real quick?
Of course.
Okay. So I was outside at work on my phone one day, and I was just like on the phone. I think I was rescheduling a doctor's appointment or something. And as I'm walking around outside of my place of work, a giant cockroach, yay big, flies at me and lands on my leg. And I used my phone and I swatted away. But as I did it, I screamed, of course. And there was like hundreds of people walking out of work because it was like 4 p.m. So like tons of people leaving, and they all laughed at me. And the rest of the day, I went back to my desk and I cried, MJ, because I just thought it touched my leg. Like I should probably cut it off, right? Like,
yeah.
like I literally
I'm so sorry you went through that.
What do I do? I turned to my coworker who was a veteran who was deployed to Afghanistan, and I said, I think I'm traumatized. I think it's like I don't know how do I live life from here? You know what I mean? It's like this fucking cockroach touched me.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm meant to live in DC. This is a fucking godforsaken town, but apparently Iowa has corn spiders, so it's like, where am I supposed to go if not the Midwest?
Nowhere safe.
Like there's nowhere safe. There's nowhere safe, people. This swamp town is no different than the Midwest. It's just everything is. I'm genuinely like getting like. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight now that I brought the fucking cockroach thing back up. I can't believe I finally was like about to repress that traumatic memory, and then
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said anything about the corn spiders. I just saw a lot of people dicking around in the corn, and I'm like, you guys have to be so brave to do that. Like, truly.
It's okay. Yeah. No, I'm happy you shared because I didn't know that, so now I know not to go in the corn. That's helpful.
Yeah, you just shouldn't go in the corn anyways because it's sharp.
But what about a corn maze? Do you think that the corn spiders are dead in that process?
In what process do you think?
When they mazify it,
Oh my God. I think it was NASCAR's TikTok who was like, what if we did a double race weekend at Iowa and one of the races is the oval and then a second one is like a road course, but in a maze, in a corn maze? That's what the course is.
Yes, please. I think SVG would win.
My thought was they can't roll up their windows, so what about the corn spiders?
Oh my God. It's good that you're bringing this stuff up. You know what I mean? It's like the fucking big France family. They probably don't even think about the corn spiders.
No, all they care about is capitalism, but I'm out here spreading the word about corn spiders.
And it's important. It's important. Okay, so we have the USA broadcast this week for the first time. They did like a little intro. It was like a what?
It's the USA broadcast, yeah.
USA Network broadcast. Lee Diffie's there though. He's not American, so it kind of
they kept saying, you know what I mean? Get this British broadcaster out of our sport. And I was like, he's like very clearly Australian.
I think he's New Zealand.
I thought he was Australian. I don't know. Guys, give me a second.
Can we get a check on this? Can we get a check?
Yeah, no. Can we have our producer fact check it?
Dude, we've been thinking, guys, there's like a lot of other podcasts.
He's Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian. You're right. I'm sorry. There's a lot of other podcasts out there in the motorsports world that just have like another person that kind of just like produces the whole podcast and is also just on a laptop generally to like Google things. And just know, like, if we ever make it big, like there'll be signs.
That's how you'll know.
That's how you know. We'll have somebody on a fucking laptop. They did like an intro. I didn't even know it was the intro. It was like the drivers are like in a bar together, like playing pool, drinking drinks, and it's like all the drivers. But they didn't really like, I guess they didn't need to do this. They didn't be like, this is our intro. So for a while there, MJ was like, what is this commercial for? What do they want me to watch? Yeah, she was confused. I was like, I don't know. I think they're just trying to shoot pool with the guys. You know what I mean? Like, I think we just got to take that as it is. And then we went, oh, this is the intro. Okay. But then in between commercial breaks, they would like do like little segments of like the drivers playing pool and stuff. What did you think? How do you think this like rates on like the NASCAR introified thing that we're doing this year?
I would say it is definitely not the best. However, I did enjoy it a lot. But I think the music is where it really, really falls flat for me because like it doesn't distinguish. Yeah, it's not a song. Like it's a like copyright free music is kind of what it sounds like, right? It's not like a notable song.
It is a song.
What is it? Do you know?
Yeah, hold on. But it doesn't have lyrics. I'll give you that.
That's why I was like, okay. I'm like, what are you advertising? I assumed it was like a little ad. But I think it's fun seeing like all the guys together.
It's called Space Truckin' by Deep Purple. It's a song. If you guys are interested.
Space Truckin' by Deep Purple. I'm not familiar with the game, but I like it. I don't know. I just thought it was cute that they were all in the little bar together shooting pool.
The bar that they specifically chose for this intro, some of the people just did not look like they belonged in that particular bar. And that was kind of strange for me. Yeah. I was like, well, Joey Logano wouldn't wear a t-shirt and go to this bar. But nice try.
Yeah, it's hard to suspend your disbelief that far. Like, let's be real. Like, let's be serious for a second.
And then they had them like playing pool and like some of them I'm like, he's never done that before, has he? I can tell.
He doesn't know what that blue chalk is for.
Yeah, it's okay. No, that's good. This is like a fun. I liked it when they kept people where they like would be most believable in it. Like they had a part where it was just like Ross Chastain and SVG at the bar, and like SVG just has a can of Red Bull in his hand, and I was like, no, that's good. That's good. If it was anything else in his hand, it would have taken me out of it.
And they had like Austin Cindric working on his little car, his son.
Yeah, that was cute. I was like, that's cute. But I don't know. I would love to hear what you guys think. We are putting together a Laps Down award show again this year. Keep an eye out because we're going to do it as the seasons end, we think. So the IndyCar one will come out, like the voting will come out soon. And I think that one of them is going to have to be getting to the bottom of this best intro. Because I think it is, I could see how some people would like this one the most.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe this is something that we could do with IndyCar? I hate to bring everything back to IndyCar, but like right now we just kind of have like the whole grid doing that weird introduction of themselves with like the light up CGI car shit behind them. I think we need something more natural like this. Take them to a bar, even though some of them aren't of drinking age.
Yeah, some of them are not. They have to go to like a Pump It Up or something.
A trampoline park.
They can go to Sky Zone.
If we could get these boys to Sky Zone, let's do an intro, guys. It'll be great.
I feel like if you had the IndyCar drivers like in an arcade, I'd be like, no, this makes sense. And obviously, like Renus VK would be playing DDR.
Yeah, there's a nerdy aspect to IndyCar that NASCAR is trying to pretend like they don't have by being like, these boys go to bars.
These guys aren't nerds. Look, none of them are wearing glasses. Besides Austin Cindric, don't look at him. But, like, they're not nerds.
Well, he's outside playing with his little fucking car because he's a nerd.
Yeah, nerd.
The rest are in here playing pool like real men. Thank goodness Steve Letarte was still there. I really, if the USA broadcast didn't have him, I don't think I would know how fuel works. I've become very dependent on him. I kind of need him to do all motorsport. I just generally, like, I don't know how fuel works if he's not there. So it's good that he was still there. Lee Diffie was great, of course. I think we're overusing some things like the Hurricane Hocevar. Definitely the dinger. I heard the dinger 17 times at least this weekend.
He uses it much more than any of the broadcasts do. He did last year too. I wonder if they may be friends. Maybe they're friends.
No more.
But that's a nickname I don't love.
I just generally I don't even need to know where AJ Allmendinger is in the field. Like, you don't even have to point him out to me. That's fine if he's there. Just don't bring it up. Especially don't call him the dinger every time. It's a no-go.
No-go.
And fan favorite, do you have any? See, I didn't even fucking forget, and it's not even in the notes. I'm just that good at podcasting.
Fan favorite for this week is probably gonna have to be... Nobody impressed me this week. Can I be honest with you? I have like 4 tied for like not really impressive. But I think I'll go with...
You don't have to give a vote. No. You don't have to give a vote.
I must.
If they didn't
I must give a vote. Give a vote. I think it's between Brad Keselowski, because I truly thought he was going to win. And I just felt like all of us were excited that he was going to win. But I watched the episode with Ryan Preece on Dale Jr.'s podcast this week. And just everything I learned about Ryan Preece, I'm like, I don't know, guys. I think I'm really rooting for him.
How he thought his dream was dead. He thought he was never going to drive in NASCAR again.
And here he is, dominating every single weekend.
Dude, he's so good at NASCAR. I love Ryan Preece.
I love Ryan Preece.
I think mine is going to go to Brad for a similar reason of I thought he was going to win. I also loved the little video he posted on Twitter of when Ryan Blaney was filming his running video. He was just standing up there in like a very unathletic way. And it was just kind of like, go Ryan, go run. Yeah, go Ryan. And I just thought like, that was funny. He had somebody film that and then post it on Twitter. Like, I think that's funny.
It was very dad-coded.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I just hope that... I think that we're kind of in love with RFK racing. Do you ever like realize that?
I'd like to not to acknowledge it.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I would sure like one of those boys to make it to the playoffs. Oh, please. At least one of them.
We need one.
Please, guys, as a treat, can we have somebody from RFK Racing in playoffs?
Please, 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 please.
Okay, well, last thing, because MJ yawned, so that means we're on, like, a ticking time bomb. Last thing, Formula E season is over. We didn't really say anything about it. I guess one thing of note is that the McLaren Formula E team is officially gone. Everybody, guys, leave in the chat your well wishes to the McLaren Formula E team. It was the most likable McLaren team, I think, of all their motorsports teams.
I agree.
They had a real charm to it that these other teams are lacking. So maybe they'll bring that same charm to their WEC team. That would be interesting to see. Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, that's it for the Lap Sound podcast this week. It was nice talking to you guys.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Yeah, that was good. Okay, see you guys next week.
That was really good.